First and foremost, I must confess that I was not brought up on Beatrix Potter's little books. It was well after infancy that my interest in their author was aroused, resulting in familiarising myself with the natural world and its inhabitants, so vividly depicted through the power of the writer's gift and her singular talent for illustration. In short, it was without difficulty that I have been able to enter the mind of a child, at the same time learning so much about the nature and characteristics of the animals portrayed and of their close relationship with us. Imagine that you are a 5-year-old boy called Noel Moore, confined to bed, as you so often are, on account of delicate health.
Susie Ashby is stealing my birthday. There are 364 other days in the year on which she could have had her party, but oh no, she has to go and choose the one day of the year that is my birthday. What are the odds? I spend the whole of the next day racking my brains about how to celebrate my birthday. I'd usually be quite happy just going to the cinema with Kazara and Jake and getting pizza afterwards, but Susie was setting the bar really high here. How could I settle for pizza when she was throwing a big soiree? Was she really going to invite the whole class? That's 30 kids. To be honest, I could imagine her inviting the whole year group, all 60 of us. And not because she's kind or generous, but because she's a show-off and just wants to look good in front of everyone. It's all about image with Susie. I'm going to have to come up with something brilliant now. Thanks a bunch, Susie. Dad suggests having a few people over to our house for party games.
Master Rix did not laugh or pity. He was merely irritated by Mistress Fay, and often declared that she should pull herself together. What did the woman expect, letting her daughter run wild and stuffing her head with fancies? He would thunder at the dinner table. The girl was always lollygagging around the rocks, dreaming and making up silly songs in her head. Nothing was more certain that one day she would be swept away and drowned, like her grandmother before her. Then he would fold his hands under his round belly and peer severely at Finn under his eyebrows. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a certain young person in this very room who still has to learn that same lesson, he would say. Dreams and fancies have no place in the lives of useful citizens. Finn's grandmother would look troubled, and his grandfather would frown and nod, and they would both glance at Finn to make sure he was paying attention.
Don't wait too long now. You've got it. He trusts you, but he wants that food. Joseph made to stand, only to be told to slow down. He started again, slower, tentative steps, occasionally scratching and grunting in case it helped. His heart thumped wildly in his chest, only increasing as he edged closer, until he could reach the bars. Again, he fell into a squat, and fighting the urge to look Adonis in the eye, he slowly raised his arm until it and the carrot sat at a perfect right angle from his body. He waited, blood pumping in his ears. Would it work, or was Adonis playing with him? But just as he felt his arm begin to cramp, he caught a movement from the other side of the bars and saw from the corner of his eye Adonis's arm mirroring his own, snaking upwards and out through the bars. It was working! It was working!
The first thing Hal saw was a glittering glass house on wheels. The bottom half of the carriage was varnished wood, the top half sparkling rectangles of glass held in place by gold rods that arched up and over the train. Inside he could see lush green tropical plants. What kind of train has a greenhouse? That's an observation car, Uncle Nat said with a grin. As we chuff down the tracks, we'll be able to admire the late summer colours of the British countryside or gaze out at the North Sea. You might glimpse the Kraken. The Kraken isn't real. Hal didn't believe in sea monsters. He was nearly 12 after all. Uncle Nat looked surprised.